Good morning, class. Today we will be working on two problems. In order to solve, we must determine what type of problem it is, represent the relationship between our numbers, and solve the problem by using our diagram. Let's get started. This is a second grade question. Our first problem states, Lily has a box full of 78 marbles. 49 of the marbles are blue and the rest of the marbles are red. How many of the marbles are red? Now, as I previously stated, our first step is to determine what type of problem this is. We can do this by asking a few questions. The first question we must ask is there a change occurring in the problem? If we look at the question, we can see that the total number of marbles is 78. The total number has no change because we know there are 49 blue marbles and we want to find out how many red there are. All of the numbers are already fixed, so there is no change occurring. So the answer to our first question is no, there is no change. The second question we must ask is, can you identify subsets? Subsets are a set of which all the elements are contained in another set. To put it simply, they are part of a larger group of related things. So, by looking at our question, we can see that there are in fact two sets, blue and red. By answering these two questions, we can determine what type of problem this is. We found out that there is no change. There's no change, but there are subsets. This can lead us to state that this is a part-whole question. Next, we must represent the relationship between our numbers. We will use the linear model represented through diagram strips. Let's look at our problem. First, we have a whole number, which is 78 marbles. This will be represented by the purple strip. Next, we will need to write whole underneath with brackets extending to both ends of the strip. We will also need to label the amount that the whole is. One way to do this is by using base 10 block drawings. First, we will need 8 cubes to represent the ones place. Next, we will need 7 rods to represent the tens place. If we add these together, they create our whole number, 78. Next, we will have the blue marbles, which is 49 marbles. This will be represented by the blue strip. We will need to write part A above with the brackets extending to both ends of the strip. We will also need to label the amount that part A is. Once again, we will be using base 10 block drawings. First, we will need 9 cubes to represent the ones place and 4 rods to represent the tens place. If we add these together, they create our whole number, 49. Finally, we have the red marbles, which is our unknown. This will be represented by the red strip. Although we don't yet know how many marbles are red, we must still include it in our representation. So we will need to write part B above with brackets extending to both ends of the strip. After solving the problem, we can come back and add the base 10 block drawings to show the amount of red marbles represented. Some students will forget to label their strips, so it's very important to remember to do so in order to solve your problem effectively. So now we've completed our second strip representing the relationship between our numbers. Next, we must solve the problem. We will use the tool of subtraction to solve this problem. We need to take away 49 from 78 to determine how many red marbles there are. So by using numbers, this would mean 78, which represents the whole, subtract 49, which represents part A, blue marbles, and that will result in our answer, which represents part B, red, and it's still unknown. We will use base 10 block drawings to solve. First, we have 8 blocks and 7 rods to represent our 8 ones and 7 tens. This creates 78. Next, we will have 9 blocks and 4 rods to represent our 9 ones and 4 tens. This creates 49. Now we must subtract. When using the tool of subtraction, we must always remember to start in the ones place. In this case, we have 8 cubes minus 9 cubes. This will not work because 8 is less than 9, so we must regroup. In order to do this, we will take one of our rods from 78 and break it into 10 cubes. So we'll take this rod and break it into 10 cubes. This will then create 6 rods and 18 cubes, which is still equal to 78. Students, when you perform this, you must ensure that regrouping still represents your whole number, in this case 78. Even though it looks different, it equals to the same number. Always double check to make sure you have redrawn the correct amount. Now that we've regrouped, we can subtract. First, we have 18 blocks minus 9 blocks. So if we look over here, we've canceled out 9 blocks on the top and bottom, and we are left with 9 blocks. We can bring this down, then we must move to the tens place. We have 6 rods and 4 rods. If we eliminate 4 on the top and bottom, we can bring down 2. Our answer, now we know, our answer has 9 blocks and 2 rods. This equals to 29. Now that we know there are